Hi, my name is Tony Moz. I'm the chef and owner of Craigie on Main at Central Square, Cambridge. We are going to make our world famous corned beef hash today. We are using our own corned beef, which is delicious. If you don't have the time to make your own, absolutely you could buy some of your own. In the recipe you'll see that we use our cooking liquid from the corned beef itself. You could easily substitute beef stock or chicken stock as well, so don't freak out if you don't have it. Basically what we're going to do here is we're going to get a pan hot. I like using steel pans. They really keep the heat nice and even, good residual heat, and it really helps with the browning. But any good, solid, sturdy kitchen pan is going to do well for you, and we're going to get it to a nice medium heat, medium-high heat, just until we begin to see some wisps of smoke. So our pan is hot, and we are going to begin adding our vegetables in really no particular order. We use turnip. I love adding a little bit of rutabaga just for some fun flavors in there. Potatoes, celery root, onions. I'm just going to stir this around a little bit. We do add a little bit of salt and pepper, although I'm not going to be as liberal with the salt as I might be in some other preparations, just because there's a good amount of seasoning with the corned beef itself, and since we're going to be adding that cooking liquid, it's just something to consider. We also have some thyme, or excuse me, some garlic. Here's the thyme. Our chefs get confused too. And we're going to cook this down. You need just a little bit more oil. Let's season this up. A couple of good cracks of salt and pepper mill. Smells great. A lot of corned beef hashes use different vegetables. Ours is just a little bit more of a wintry mix. I really like the hearty turnips and the depth of flavor you get with adding some things like rutabaga. And we're going to let that sit and get a good color. Okay, so we are getting great color here on our vegetables. This is taking about, good 7 or 8 minutes to get to this point. It's nice, consistent, keeping it stirring so we get nice even color too, so we don't get any pieces that don't have it. And what we're going to do now is deglaze with some of our cooking liquid. And let that cook down. And by cooking down, literally, we're just going to reduce it. We're going to intensify the flavors. And this is also steaming the vegetables now to help finish cooking them all the way through. So once we add our liquid, we're going to reduce it down. It's going to take about another 5 minutes. Okay, so our liquid is pretty much reduced down now. We leave just a little bit in the pan, and we're going to add our butter and stir this in so it's got a really nice glaze to it. The French would call it a glacé. And as soon as this is done, we're going to take our pan off and start with our next pan to caramelize the corned beef that we've diced into cubes. And again, then we'll marry the two, finish with some fresh herbs, and have an awesome breakfast. Fantastic. So now the next part of the corned beef hash is to actually cook the corned beef. We're going to get some oil in the pan. Again, get this medium hot just until there's a few wisps of smoke. Then we can add the beef so that there's a good sizzle. The corned beef itself, of course, has already been brined and totally cooked. So what we're trying to do here is just develop some flavors, caramelizing the meat a little bit, and then we're going to add our wonderful caramelized vegetables and, again, have a great dish. Corned beef goes into the pan. Resist the temptation to stir. What we're trying to do here is develop some color. So the more you stir, it's not going to color really well, and you'll actually begin steaming it. So let it kind of just go for a few minutes, probably a good 3 minutes before I start stirring it at all until we go. And I don't really have to season this at all, because the whole point of corning or brining the meat is that we're already introducing a ton of salt to it. So we can taste it at the end when we add our vegetables and decide if it needs any more seasoning, but most likely it's pretty much exactly where you want it. Okay, so it's after a couple of minutes now. We haven't really touched anything, and here we are. Stir this up a little bit, and we're just going to now develop another layer of flavor by letting this begin to caramelize. You can see right there that this little bit of extra color there is what we're looking for. I'm just going to make it tastier and tastier. So we'll let it go for another few minutes without touching it. Okay, one last stir here. Oh yeah, getting some good color in there. You can really smell it too, which is great. Now we're going to take our caramelized vegetables and just add them right in. It's about a 1-to-1 ratio of vegetables to meat. Of course, the great thing about hash is it's not an exact science. We're just trying to make it delicious. Stir it all in. Oh yeah. Heat these vegetables back up, and the way I finish it is I would just add a little bit more of the cooking liquid. Touch more of the butter, and finish it with some parsley and chives chopped up. Bring that together. Now, this doesn't look a whole lot better than that stuff you get out of the can where they rob you of all the good stuff. Here you get these big chunks of awesome corned beef, making a terrific hash with all sorts of crispy bits. If you're like me and you wanted to let it go a little bit longer right now, so you got it even a little bit more color and some of those really good crispy bits, absolutely. Of course, we're ready to go right now as well. So we'll plate it. Let's put it on our plate. For brunch here at Craigie on Main, of course, we serve it with a poached egg and hollandaise and some onion rings. We'll let you use your imagination. There we go. Corned beef hash.